dear children, welcome back to our Gurdeva e-learning classes. In previous part we studied one of the beautiful poem, that one is Fireflies. Today we have to learn about your fifth lesson, that one is Sick with Hunger. Yes, your fifth lesson, Sick with Hunger, written by Anton Chekhov. Okay, the author of the lesson Sick with Hunger is Anton Chekhov. Yes, he is a Russian author. He considered as greatest writer of short stories. Yes, he also wrote few plays. This is all about the author of Anton Chekhov. If dear children, this story is about a boy who was sick with hunger. Yes, and he know the new name of a creature. That one is oyster. He had never eaten before from his childhood. Hence, the creature oyster fantasizes him. Let us check what was the story. Dear children, around 25,000 people died from starvation in a year. Yes, we are very lucky. Yes, you did not feel what is starvation because your mom served before you felt hungry. Hence, you thankful to God and you also thankful to your mother. But dear children, you have to know the feeling of starvation and poverty. Then only you know the value of food and value of your life. Okay, let us check one video. I hope you are all understood what is starvation and poverty. Dear children, I hope you are all understood what was the starvation and what was the poverty. So please help those people as much as possible by giving the food, clothes and money. Okay. Here one of the boy, one who sick with hunger in the lesson. Let us see what was his story. It is not difficult to recollect the rainy evening in autumn when I stood with my father in one of busy street of Moscow. I felt that I was slowly but certainly being affected by a stranger's sickness. I felt no pain, but my legs seemed too weak to allow me to stand. Words seemed trapped in my throat. and my head slipped weakly on one side. It seemed as if I would faint. It is not difficult to recollect the rainy evening in autumn. Yes, the poet himself narrate the story. Hence, he told it is very hard to remember. It is very hard to remember the rainy season in autumn. Yes, he when in autumn we did not felt the cold. Hence, the author told it is very difficult to feel the rainy season in the autumn. He told he was standing in the busy street of Moscow with his father. At the time, he felt very tiredness in his body because he did not eat any food. Hence, his stomach was paining. But he told, I had no pain in my body, but I felt very tired because he is sick with hunger. He is suffering from starvation. Hence, he told, I felt very pain in my body. Even he did not stand properly on his leg. He felt no pain, but my legs seemed too weak to allow me stand. Words seemed trapped in my throat. Yes, here trapped means T-R-A-P-P-E-D. Trapped means caught. He did not able to speak any words. Okay, the words are caught in his throat. That much of tiredness, that much of sickness present in the body of a boy. So he told, the words are trapped in my throat. It seemed as if I would faint. Okay, let us move on to the second para. Beside me on the pavement stood my father in a shabby summer overcoat and a torn cap and big heavy rubber boots on his feet. However shabby his clothes, I loved him dearly. Yes, in this para, the boy described his father appearance. Yes, his father wore a shabby means here shabby, shabby means untidy and worn out means dirty cloth. Okay, his father wore a untidy clothes and he wore a rubber boots in his feet, but his son told, I love my father. Yes, dear children, there is no question of appearance in the parents' love. Okay. 5 months ago, my father had come to Moscow to look for a job as a clerk. Every day, he had to walk from one part of the city to another, desperately looking for work, but to no avail. It was only on that day that he had forced himself. It was only on that day that he had forced himself to go onto the street to beg for alms. Yes, his father come to Moscow for looking a job as a clerk since 5 months, but he did not get a perfect job. So he wandering one city to another for searching the job from 5 months. He did not want to see his children or did not want to see his family suffering from hunger. So he decided he had to he decided begging the alms from the people. Here alms means rupees. Okay. The Russian currency is called alms. The Indian currency is called rupees. Okay. His father decided to begging the alms from the people. So he selected a one place. What was the place? Let us check. Dear children, we have to do our work with lot of dedication and affection. We did not consider the size of the job. Is it small? Is it big? We have to work with lot of devotion. Yes, it is called labor dignity. Okay. In front of us stood a big building of 3 floors. There hung a blue signboard with the word restaurant written on it. My head was sagging backwards weakly, and I could not help looking at the lighted windows of the restaurant. Yes, desperately looking for work, but to no avail. Here, to no avail means to no avail, without success. He did not get the proper job, means to no avail, without success. Okay. Hence, he decided to begging the alms from the people. So he need to choose a one place. What was the place? Let us see. In front of us stood a big building of 3 floors. There hung a blue signboard with the word restaurant written on it. My head was sagging backwards weakly, and I could not help looking at the land. I could not help looking at the light windows of the restaurant. Yes, he finally chose the one place in front of the restaurant. In that restaurant, the boy saw a blue signboard with the word restaurant written on it. His head was sagging. Here, sagging means dropping, hanging down. Okay. The boy's head was sagging. S-A-G-G-I-N-G. Sagging means dropping, hanging down. His head was dropping, hanging down because he did not eat any food. Hence he felt very hungry. Hence he felt very weakness in his body. So his head was sagging. Okay. I could not help looking at the light windows of the restaurant. He did not able to see the lights of the restaurant. From the windows, I could see people moving about inside. I could see right side of the orchestration, 2 oil paintings and lamps. And he also saw a orchestration. What is meant by orchestration? Oil paintings and lamp. Yes, from that window, the boy saw a right side of the orchestration, a large instrument that imitates the sound of orchestra. Okay, 2 oil paintings and lamp. He saw also 2 oil paintings and lamp in the restaurant by the window. Okay, staring into one window, I saw white patch against the dark brown background. It was a white placard on the wall with something written on it. I looked carefully at it for a long time, trying to read it, but in vain. Staring into one window means look straightly. Staring means look straightly with concentration. Okay, the boy concentrate on the window. He saw a white patch against the dark brown background. It was a white placard. He saw a placard. What is meant by placard? Yes, signboard or poster. He saw a placard in the restaurant by the window with something written on it. I looked carefully at it for a long time, trying to read it, but in vain. He did not able to read the words on the placard because he felt very tiredness and very soothing effects in his head. That is, when the strange disease seized me. Yes, he caught by a seized. The strange seized. It is nothing but starvation. He felt from the hunger. Hence, he felt very weakness in his body. So he told, I seized by a strange disease. I seized by a strange disease. Hence the boy did not able to read the placard. The rumbling sound of carriage wheels crashed like a thunder in my ears. The restaurant lamp shone like a lightning. Yes, the sound of vehicles in front of the restaurant, the boy feels the thunder and lightning in his mind. Okay. I could sense 1,000 smells. I could now see what I had not seen before. Oysters. I read slowly on the placard. Even though the boy read with concentrately, what was in the placard? Yes, they had written oysters. Okay, he could see the placard. That one is oysters. Okay, he read slowly the placard. Oysters. A strange word in the 8 years of my life. I had never come across the word. What did it mean? Surely it could not be the name of a restaurant owner. Sorry. A strange word in the 8 years of my life. I had never come across the word. What did it mean? Surely it could be the name of the restaurant owner because nameplates always hang outside, not on the walls indoors. The boy felt very wonder. He did not heard the word oyster from his childhood. Yes, now he was 8 years. He did not heard the word oyster from the 8 years. So he thought it would be the name of the owner of the restaurant. But he thought, no, the name of the restaurant must be put on the outside of the restaurants on the nameplates. But it is on the placard. What it would be? I have to ask my father. He decided he had to ask his father. What does oysters mean? I asked. My father did not hear. He was watching the crowd. I realized that he wanted to ask one of the passerby for alms, but he could not utter the words. He followed a passerby and touched him on the sleeve. But when the person turned round, my father said sorry with confusion. I staggered back. Now the boy questioned to his father, Papa, what is meant by oysters? But the father is busy in asking alms from the people. But he not succeeded to beg the alms. Yes, he did. He ashamed himself. He hesitated to beg the alms from the people. Yes, dear children, no one is ready to beg in front of the others. The situation or circumstance made him to beg. So we did not underestimate the poor people. We have to help the poor people as much as possible. He followed a passerby and touched him on the sleeve. But when the person turned round, my father said sorry with confusion and staggered back. Yes, he followed the passerby. By means he followed the people one moving on the street. He followed the peoples and he touched their sleeves. When the people turned back, his father felt very hesitation. He did not ask any alms from the people. He told, sorry, I touched by confusion. So he did not get any alms or he did not get any money from the peoples. Okay, what happened next? Let us check. Papa, what does oyster mean? I repeated. It is an animal that lives in a sea. He said, I imagined this unknown marine creature. I thought it might look partly like a fish and partly like a crab, as it lived in the sea, like other animals that are eaten. I thought it was cooked as a delicious hot soup or broth. I imagined it being brought from the market, put in the pot quickly, for everyone was hungry, extremely hungry. The boy's curiosity is increased, so he asked his father repeatedly, like, Papa, what is meant by oysters? In this time, the father answered him, like, it is an animal that lives in the sea. Yes, the father told to the boy, like, it is an animal that lives in the sea. He said, I imagined this unknown creature. He said, I imagined this unknown creature. I imagined this one is unknown creature. It would be look partly fish or partly a crab. The boy imagined like the oyster is look like a partly fish or partly a crab. He thought it was cooked as a delicious hot soup or broth. What is meant by broth? B-R-O-T-H. Broth means thick soup with lots of vegetables and meat. The boy thought the oyster must be cooked as a broth. Means the oyster cooked as a broth means with thick soup with lots of vegetables, the oyster is cooked. He imagined it being brought from the market, cleaned, put in the pot quickly, for everyone was hungry, extremely hungry. Let us see, children. The boy was very hungry and he also suffering from sickness. But he did not get any food or he did not get any money from the father. So he filled his tummy with imagination. It is very hard to see the boy in this situation. Yes, he imagined that his father brought a oyster from the market. They are all waiting for the oyster to eat. Yes, they cleaned the oyster and put into the pot. Now they are cooking the oyster. Yes, dear children, I hope you are all enjoyed and I hope you are all understood what is meant by oysters, how it looks. Yes, at the time a delicious aroma came from the kitchen which tempted my nose to sniff and my tongue to taste it. It gradually took hold of my whole body so strongly that I began to move my jaws as if I was chewing and swallowed as if I really had a piece of the oyster in my mouth. Yes, dear children, he is a great, the boy is the oysters. He did not imagine the flavor of the oysters also. Yes, he told the delicious aroma came from the kitchen. Yes, he felt the delicious aroma in his imagination because he was very hungry. So he thought about the oysters and he wanted to eat it, but he did not get. So he imagined the delicious aroma came from the kitchen, and he also felt he also eat the oysters and he become strong. He took the piece of oyster in his mouth. He also swallowed the oysters and hence he become very strong and he filled with strong. I gripped my father's arm to keep myself from falling and leant against his wet summer overcoat. My father was shivering with cold. Papa, are oysters a dish eaten during Lent? I asked. They are eaten alive, said my father. They are in shells like tortoise, but in two halves. In this para, the boy came from his imagination. Yes, whenever his head fell on his father's wet coat, he awakened suddenly and he asked his father like, Papa, are oysters a dish even during Lent? Yes, here Lent means festival. Before going to eat the oyster, did we celebrate any festival? I asked. They are eaten alive. The father replied like, no, they are eaten alive. Said his father, they are in shells like tortoise, but in two halves. They are present in the shells, but the shells have two halves. On hearing his words, the smell did not seem delicious any longer. I whispered, how horrible. When the father, by hearing the words like that one eaten alive, the boy felt very horribly. Yes, he thought it is not fair to eat alive the oysters. So he did not like the. Yes, in imagination, the boy felt the delicious aroma came from the kitchen. While his father said like that one eaten alive, the oysters are eaten alive, the boy felt very horribly. Yes, he did not like to eat alive the oysters. Hence, the boy told the smell did not seem delicious any longer. That means he did not like to eat alive. Yes, dear children, this is all about this class, the sick with hunger. We have to continue next part in your next class. Thank you.